What's up, Ninja Geeks? My name is OMGWTF, LOLFTWBRB, and welcome to Suprocker Saturday. If you are unfamiliar with what Suprocker Saturday is, well, it's one of the days of the week that I choose to play really any game that I want, such as the ongoing series we've been doing for quite a long time now, the arcade playthroughs of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. In our previous episode, we played as Firebrand for the Capcom side, so this time we're going to be playing as a Marvel character. As you see, we have chosen Hulk, and I also have chosen Chris Redfield due to a special little thing with Hulk and Chris. And finally, we're going to kick off with Hulk's cousin, She-Hulk. So yeah, there was a reason why I picked the Hulk in here. And I mean, not the Hulk, there's a reason why I picked Chris Redfield, because my intentions in the beginning of this playthrough was actually that I was going to win this match as the Incredible Hulk. But yeah, we didn't win as Incredible Hulk. We ended up winning, I currently can't speak today. We ended up winning as She-Hulk, so a reoccurring thing I like to do in these arcade playthroughs is give you information on the character that I win as. And since we win as She-Hulk, I'm going to give you information on She-Hulk. So yeah. She-Hulk was created by Stan Lee, who wrote only the first issue and was the last character he created for Marvel before his return to comics with Ravage 2099 in 1992. The reason for the character's creation had to do with the success of the Incredible Hulk TV series in 1977 through 82. Afraid that the show's executives would suddenly introduce a female Hulk resembling the popular Bionic Woman, Marvel decided to publish their own version of such a character to make sure that if the similar one showed up in the TV series, they would own the rights. Jennifer Walters is the cousin of Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. She is the small and somewhat shy daughter of Los Angeles County Sheriff William Morris Walters and Elaine Banner Walters. You know, that was her first last name, Banner. I don't have to explain this. Who died in a car crash when Jennifer was only 17. Operatives, yes, of Nicholas Trask, a crime boss who had crossed paths with her father, shot and seriously wounded her on a day that Bruce Banner happened to be in town for a visit. What a coincidence. Since no other donors with her blood type were available, Banner provided his own blood for a transfusion, as they already shared the same blood type and DNA. His radioactive blood, combined with her anger, transformed Jennifer into the green-skinned She-Hulk when the mobsters tried to finish her off at the hospital. As She-Hulk, Jennifer possessed powers similar to those of her cousin, though at a reduced level. She also possesses a less monstrous, more Amazonian appearance. Initially, the transformation to her She-Hulk form was triggered, as with Bruce Banner's, by anger. Like her cousin Bruce, her counterpart, the leader, Doc Samson, and most other persons mutated by exposure to gamma radiation over the years, her mutated form was originally explained as being molded by her subconscious desire to look like the ideal woman. She eventually gains control over her transformations when Michael Morbius cures her of her lethal blood disease. The character's personality has changed over the years. Originally ill-tempered and violent, she is now depicted as a fun-loving, kind, empathetic, yet still feisty woman who frequently uses humor when fighting. She has stated that she does not want to kill her foes, especially ones that she has already subdued. She has also started and led her own disaster relief organization and felt great remorse for almost destroying a small town due to her transformed state briefly turning uncontrollable from radiation, whereupon she helped construction workers rebuild it. As a highly idealistic lawyer, the character has a history of defending the rights of minorities, the mentally ill, civil liberties, including the right for criminals to not be unduly mistreated and get proper defense, or individuals to not be victimized by certain less ethical corporations, but also a belief in the necessity of law and order. These priorities have sometimes made her personality conflict, such as reversing her stance regarding the Superhuman Registration Act, and being delusion with her more famous cousin, whom she considers as a brother, was shot into space without due process, or when she thought to be a torturer and murderer of children was cleared from all charges. Okay. In an interview, former She-Hulk writer Peter David describes her as follows. She-Hulk has the potential to be our Wonder Woman, a powerful female with a strong morale center and determination to do what's right. She also has a unique combination of brains and brawn. The ideal She-Hulk story is one that plays on both aspects of her makeup, the intelligent combined with her strength. A transfusion of gamma irradiated blood from her cousin Bruce Banner, the Hulk, granted Jennifer Walters superhuman powers. In her She-Hulk form, she possesses enormous superhuman strength that potentially makes her by far the physically strongest known woman in the Marvel Universe, when her emotional state is sufficiently high. Although She-Hulk's strength originally remained at a set level and did not increase, later in her history, her strength has sporadically been stated to increase further from fear or anger, similar to her cousin. In addition, the character possesses superhuman speed, agility, stamina, and reflexes. As She-Hulk, Walters is exponentially stronger than she is when she is Jennifer Walters' form. Therefore, any extra strength gained as Jennifer Walters through the intense physical training will be amplified, making her She-Hulk form even stronger. After being defeated by the champion of the universe, She-Hulk exercised for several months in her Jennifer Walters form, resulting in a significant gain in strength and muscular mass in her She-Hulk form, and allowing her to soundly defeat the champion in a rematch. At this time, she was able to effortlessly sustain the Thing's maximum weight with a single arm, with her strength was greatly restrained by a Jupiter suit, and she was shown as considerably stronger than Hercules. Her calm strength level has since reduced, but remains somewhat higher, for example, Wonder Man. She-Hulk's body is superhumanly durable and nearly impervious to force, pain, and disease. Her skin can withstand extremes of temperature, as well as tremendous stress and impacts without puncture, wounds, and lacerations. Her enhanced psychology renders her immune to all terrestrial diseases. She-Hulk also possesses a healing factor, which enabled her to completely recover within minutes from a skewering by Wendigo. Unlike the Hulk, Jennifer's personalities and intelligence are less affected when she transforms into She-Hulk, although she becomes more self-confident and assertive. For a long time, She-Hulk could not revert to her original human form. Due to her training from the alien ovoids, She-Hulk is able to swap powers and physiques with other human women, but retains her green skin pigmentation and only used it once. Due to the Hulk's wish, Jennifer can now switch between her human and Hulk forms at will. Okay. For a time, thanks to a hex cast by Scarlet Witch, anyone who wished She-Hulk harm could not recognize her as Jennifer, but harmful side effects forced Jennifer to seek the assistance of Doctor Strange to remove the hex. She-Hulk is a formidable hand-to-hand combatant, having been trained by Captain America and Gamora. Even her Jennifer Walters form, she possesses sufficient skills in martial arts to dispatch several would-be muggers much larger than she is. She once displayed sufficient knowledge of acupressure to render the Abomination insensitive by striking several nerve clusters after her first use in psychology to distract him. The character is also a skilled and experienced attorney who attended UCLA School of Law, where she was a member of the Order of Coif, a national merit society for top legal scholars. She-Hulk had performed legal work as a member of the Magistrati, I don't know if I pronounced that right, who had the power to compel her to adjudicate cases anywhere in creation. She seized the operate in this function after successfully adjudicating the merits of her own universe to continue existing before the living tribunal. She is a skilled pilot and has previously used a modified 1995 Dodge automobile equipped with technology enable flight in Earth's atmosphere and in our outer space for limited distances, although she is incapable of interstellar flight. For a time, starting with the sensational She-Hulk series by John Byrne in 1989, She-Hulk was portrayed with a form of cross-dimensional or metafictional awareness to break through the so-called fourth wall in some stories. She showed awareness of being a comic book character with visuals of her tearing the page or walking through the page of advertisements to reach an enemy's control center. She sometimes engaged in arguments with the writer John Byrne, or appealed to the comics editor Renee Ryder-Stetter. Okay. Sensational She-Hulk number 50, Byrne's last issue, involved Renee locking a bound and gagged Byrne in a storage closet while she and Jen tried to find a new book's writer. This trend was briefly carried on during her tenure with the Heroes for Hire, when she spoke to the book's narrator and fired him for losing the plot. Other Marvel characters that have been written to directly address the audience include She-Hulk's friend, Louise Mason, Uatu the Watcher, who narrates the majority of the issue of What If by speaking directly to the reader, and Deadpool. Speaking of Deadpool. On occasion, this practice has also been used for Loki, Rick Jones, White Wingfoot, and Howard the Duck. The latest series has not acknowledged this primarily humor-based quirk of She-Hulk's, save for Coda in Volume 2, Number 3, and Number 100. in which Stu Cicerio, a law firm researcher, asked Jen if she could really do stuff like that. She somewhat wisely replies, "No, I can't." However, the panel is drawn at a somewhat ambiguous angle that suggests She-Hulk may be looking out of the comic at the reader. She-Hulk's most recent profile in the official handbook of the Marvel Universe continues to list this ability of hers and confirms that she is simply downplaying for the benefit of those around her. This new series has taken a different approach to the metafiction angle, making use of the concept dating back to Lee and Kirby's early Fantastic Four, that the heroes of the Marvel Universe permit licensed comic book adaptations of their adventures to be published. Since all comics published before 2001 bear the seal of the Comics Code Authority of America, a federal agency in the Marvel Universe, they are considered legal documents admissible as evidence in the superhuman law cases on which She-Hulk works. If She-Hulk defeats Deadpool as the final opponent in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds, she will say, "You know, if this game were made in 1991, I'd be the one whacking you with the hell part." This referenced Deadpool's fourth wall-breaking hyper move, wherein he attacks the opponent with his own life bar, as well as the character's rise in popularity in recent years. In the game's update Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if Deadpool is her first opponent before the match starts, she will claim that she can break the fourth wall as well. If she defeats him as her last opponent, She-Hulk will then threaten to beat him in Marvel vs. Capcom 4 if the game is ever made. She-Hulk was ranked as the 104th greatest comic book character of all time by Wizard magazine. IGN also places her as the 88th greatest comic book hero of all time, stating that plenty of heroes have gained female sidekicks over the years, but few of these ladies have so capably managed to escape the shadow of their namesakes as She-Hulk. Yugo Networks also placed her as one of the top heroes of entertainment, stating that if nothing else, she is proven to have a longer shelf life than Spider-Woman, who is also in no way a cheap marketing ploy. She-Hulk was ranked 11th in the Comic Buyer's Guide, 100 Sexiest Woman in the Comics. Oh, okay. She-Hulk appears in the 1982 animated The Incredible Hulk series broadcast on NBC. She was voiced by Victoria Carroll. She-Hulk was announced as a co-star in 1989 made-for-TV film headlining The Incredible Hulk, the third reunion sequel to the live-action Incredible Hulk series with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno reprising their roles. Although no specific title or actress was announced in early July of that year, it was still firmly expected to air in that autumn. A third telefilm did appear in 1990 of February without any additional Marvel character adapted. A year later, a proposed She-Hulk series for the ABC network was dead. She-Hulk made a brief cameo with other members of the Avengers in the 1994 Fantastic Four animated series episode, The Battle of the Living Planet and Doomsday. She-Hulk made a... oh, I just read that, duh. She-Hulk appears in the 1996 The Incredible Hulk animated series in Season 1... oh wait, I don't know what I said. She was in both Season 1 and Season 2. Although she appears in only 2 episodes in Season 1, She-Hulk takes center stage in Season 2 to point that the new season renamed the series The Incredible Hulk and She-Hulk. She-Hulk appears in the episode The Cure of the 2006 Fantastic Four TV series. She was voiced by Stephanie Brillone. In addition to being in the Series 2 opening title, She-Hulk appears in the Superhero Squad show episode So Pretty When They Explode. She-Hulk will appear in the Hulk in the Agents of Smash. And after 2 television projects for She-Hulk described failed to materialize, a live-action motion picture was being planned in the early 1990s with Larry Cohen as a writer and director. 10 months later, Bridget Niles was announced set to play the role in Cohen's film. She even posed for photos dressed as both She-Hulk and her alter ego Jennifer Walters. She-Hulk is a playable character in the 1997 side-scrolling beat-em-up PlayStation game Fantastic Four. She-Hulk appeared as a non-playable character in Capcom's Marvel Superheroes. Doppelgamers of She-Hulk appeared as enemies in Marvel Superheroes War of Gems. She-Hulk appears as a mini-boss in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, voiced by Alexia Coppola. She-Hulk is also a playable character exclusively on the Nintendo DS version. She-Hulk appears in Marvel Superhero Squad, the Infinity Gauntlet video game, and she also appears in the crossover fighting game Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds, and also appears in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. She's a playable character in Marvel Superhero Squad Online, and also in the Facebook game Marvel Avengers Alliance. Now we're going to be going over her TV appearances and all that. So she appeared in the 1982 The Incredible Hulk and was played by Victoria Carroll. And then she was also in the 1996 The Incredible Hulk and was voiced both by Lisa Zanier and Cree Summer. She was in the Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Hero in 2006 and was voiced by Rebecca Shoichet. Alright. She was in the Superhero Squad show in 2009 and was voiced by Katie Sackhoff. And she will be appearing in the new television series on Disney XD, Hulk and the Agents of Smash in 2013, and will be voiced by Eliza Dushku. She has also appeared in the following video games. She was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 in 2009 and was voiced by Alicia Coppola. She was in Marvel Superhero Squad The Infinity Gauntlet in 2010 and was voiced once again by Cree Summer. She appears in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds in 2011, and she is voiced by Maria Canals. Maria Canals, believe it or not, is the mother from Wizards of Waverly Place. So, after listening to She-Hulk while I'm recording this, I can hear her voice, but I don't know, I just thought it was interesting that the mom from Wizards of Waverly Place is the voice of She-Hulk. Gray DeLise is her voice in Marvel Superhero Squad Online, and of course Maria Canals voices She-Hulk in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 also. And she will be voiced by Mary Faber in Marvel Heroes in 2013. Next up, I'm going to be going over her interactions with other characters in this game. So, her pre-fight dialogues and intros. When she starts off a match against the Hulk, she says, "You know what they say, the female is the deadlier of the species." When she starts off with Mike Hagar, "Consider yourself impeached." Chun-Li, "Honey, just turn around and leave before you get hurt." Hawkeye, "Fighting me? You are always headstrong, Clint. Didn't think you were stupid, too." Phoenix Wright, "Soon the defense will rest her fist upon your face." And Deadpool, "I can break the fourth wall too, you know." Next up, we're going to go with her call names, which is basically some characters she says like different things. For instance, when she calls out Hulk, she says Bruce. When she calls Iron Man, she says Tony. When she calls out Hawkeye, Clint. Phoenix Wright is Mr. Wright. Her victory pose quotes: when she defeats the Hulk, she says, "I promise not to say anything about this at the family reunion." Mike Hagar, "So what if you can't beat a girl, Mike? You still got my vote." Chun-Li, "I almost feel bad for you, little girl. Almost." Hawkeye, "It's times like this I'm ashamed we're both Avengers." Deadpool, "If there's ever a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, I'll destroy you there too, Wade." And against Phoenix Wright, "How's that for a little courtroom drama?" Her after-match win quotes when she defeats Deadpool: "You know, if this game were made in 1991, I'd be the one whacking you with the health bar." Hulk, "And another thing, stop showing up and ruining Thanksgiving." Chun-Li, "You and I have more in common than you think. Maybe once you wake up we can talk about it." Senko, "So you think you've got family problems? Oh, the stories I could tell you." Phoenix Wright, "If you argue the way you fight, it's a wonder you ever win a case." And Iron Man, That's for when you KO'd me during the Contest of Champions." Sorry, I had a Skype call. It slowed me down. Her assist quotes: when she's calling for help, she says, "A little help." And when she's finished assisting her partner, she says, "Heh." Got another Skype call. When she's defeated by a light attack, she says, "Oh, damn it." And when she loses by time over, she says, "Too bad." And when replacing a fallen ally, when there's one ally remaining, say if the Hulk were to go down and her and Chris were left, she says, "I'm next." And when both Hulk and Chris were to fall, she would say, "Oh no, you don't." And she only has one taunt, and she just says, "Is that it?" So, that was a little bit about She-Hulk. Not much I can express about her. But, I'm a little, I kind of like the fact how, the mom from Wizards of Waverly Place does voice, She-Hulk. I, for one, thought that was pretty neat. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Jennifer Walters. This is Judge Jennifer. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. Bailiff? Looks like I did it again. So She-Hulk has a little bit of a funny ending, nothing serious. She just ends up getting her own judge show like Judge Judy and other judges. And those two people you saw in there were, well, Phoenix Wright, who's in this game, and that was Miles Edgeworth, I believe his name is, from the Phoenix Wright series. Like I said, a little bit of a funny ending, not too cool, not too you know, ha ha ha. But I do want to give my opinion on She-Hulk being in this game, of course, and my opinion on the character. My opinion of the character first. I don't hate her, but I don't love her either. I mean, to me, she's just a female Hulk, but after reading a little bit about her, I do have a little bit more respect, but I still am not a huge fan of She-Hulk. And I'll tell you what, even though I read all that about her, I don't agree that she should have been in this game. I don't see why She-Hulk's in this game. I don't understand why they put her in here, because to my knowledge, nothing is planned for She-Hulk. I could be wrong, though, but whatever. Maybe she'll be in the next Avengers film, for all we know. Doubtful. But either way, Nerds and Geeks, this is the end of this arcade playthrough. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you would like to suggest a character for next week, we're doing a Capcom character, so go ahead and leave a comment below if you would like to suggest me a Capcom character to play as next week. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTWBRB, and I will see you Nerds and Geeks next week when we continue on with the arcade playthroughs of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So until then, Nerds and Geeks, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day.